Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
And did he replace? But the actual lock that's on the inside that you, the whole lock, the whole deadbolt, is too small for the existing hole that was there. He had an old Ilco, so you can see the trimming from the outside where it's almost fitting in the hole. You can see the whole outline of where the old lock was.
Sure.
So I needed to get something that was bigger because this isn't working.
Yeah, so over the decades, of course, that design has changed, and when you call the manufacturer, they don't employ any people whose memory goes back that far. So the answer to the question is the 530-53-51, not knowing what lock you already have, there are dimensional properties of the lock set in the installation instructions that are in the website, and you want to search in the website this exact part number, and may I give it to you now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So what you want to search exactly is 530-53-51.
Okay.
And when you locate that, you'll know it's the right item when it has a photograph of the lock. There will also be the link to the installation instructions I mentioned, but the real crown jewel of all of this is there will be a video of me blabbing on about the lock, having it in my hands, that will give you a much better ability to review the lock.
Okay. Okay, so you don't have the actual lock there because I've seen your video 3 times.
Oh, okay.
I've looked at the video. I've looked it up. I'm trying to just get the length so I know whether to order.
Sure.
I want to order 2 of them.
Sure.
Because it's nowhere, and I'm really surprised. There's only a few eBay sites that will list the length of it, and it's just the lock itself that's in the package, right? What you're holding when you're demonstrating on one of the videos when you go to your actual site. I think it's the 535, the 4-1 that doesn't have there isn't a double cylinder, and on that video you're actually holding that lock in your hand. That's the measurement lift that I actually need that no one is giving me the length for.
I can. It's in the link to the installation instructions, the PDF document that's there, and I can tell you what it says right now if you like.
Sure.
So the overall width of the body would be 3 15/32 of an inch, also known as just less than 3.5.
Okay, 3 and.
Just figure just less than 3.5 inch.
Less than 3.5.
1/2 of a tiny little line on the tape measure.
Okay, so I'm good with that. Okay.
Then the height is 2 15/16 tall. It's really just a little less than that. So it's really a little less than 3 inch tall.
The height.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the height and the 3, a little less than 3 was the.
A little less than 3 inches the height. A little less than 3.5 inches the width.
Okay. Okay.
And again, those are in the installation instructions that are there.
Right. You're saying. Okay, so let me make sure that I'm understanding.
Okay.
You have not given me. Okay, I understand what you're saying. You're saying width, and I'm saying length, which is you're using the terminology from the going completely across the vertical position.
For the height, yes. But the width now, that's measured from the edge of the door to the back side of the lock body. You would then add the fingers that would come over that.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to get to, because I'm measuring.
Okay.
That's what I'm actually looking for. I need something from what it says. The lock that is actually needed should be 4.4 5/8 of an inch.
Oh, it'll certainly be that. It'll absolutely be that. Edge of the door to the edge of the lock is 3.5. It would certainly be another inch and an eighth, including the finger prep. It'll absolutely be that, if not more, quite frankly.
Okay, but it doesn't say what the actual length measurement is.
I don't have that in the installation instructions, and I do not have access to one in my hands where I'm physically located. But I wouldn't hesitate, because the length of those fingers will certainly be at least an inch.
Right, I'm just, okay, because the one I have currently, right now, that I'm looking at is 4 and 2/8 of an inch.
So 4 1/4.
Yeah, and it needs to be longer than that.
Yeah, that Kaba Ilco lock we're looking at will be longer than that.
Okay, it's longer.
And it's likely the one you have might be a night latch version, which I think are a little bit more petite in the footprint.
Yeah, I know the one he actually has is this cheap, because he actually still has the package, and it's a gateway. He has a I'm actually getting this package because this a gateway double cylinder deadlock, and it has a key number and SKU number on it, but it's just too small, and it doesn't give. It only gives. It's not giving the dimensions of the length of it, but definitely once I took it, it says only 4 and 2/8. So.
Yeah, 4 and 2/8 would be 4 1/4 inch. The Kaba Ilco will certainly be greater than that.
As far as length. Okay. Okay. And again, you said the height was 2 and 15?
2 and 15. Yeah, 2.9 inch actually, so a little bit less than that, but for all intents purposes, 2 and 15/16.
2 and 15/16. So I'm going to ask you a question. It may sound silly, but I just don't know, so I need to ask the question. As far if we were talking about 1/8 of inches, then what would that 215 add up to?
2 and 7/8, and then one little line more than that. And it's not a silly question. I only know the tape measure so well because it's something my job requires me to do every day. I mean, if I didn't, if I didn't have to know dimensions, everything would be plus or minus a quarter in my life. So, I mean, literally, if you went to 3 inch and then took 1/8 of an inch off of that, you're going to be right there.
Okay, and that's actually perfect for that. And you said the depth of it. Did you
the thickness?
Yes.
The thickness of the body? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is exactly.
Okay. So then there's one more question before that 3.5. What's the width? That was the same thing when we were talking about previously. I'm calling it the length, and you're calling it the width.
I'm calling it the width, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And on a tape measure, that would be?
Well, the edge of the door to the back of the lock body would be 3.5 inch, just less. But then we're going to add probably 1.25 inches for the rest of the lock body. So I would say that we would very predictably be into the 4.5 inch overall width or length range.
Right, because I'm measuring the whole lock from where the teeth, where it actually goes. The door's actually closed, so I'm measuring the whole lock across from where the teeth actually go in to the end of the lock where that piece that pushes in and out. I'm measuring all the way to there. So we're talking about.
Yeah, sounds like you're on the right track.
Okay, and then there's one other question as we talk about that piece. On the 535, it doesn't have that little piece that sticks out, does it?
Please clarify.
Okay. Okay. There's a piece that you push in and out from the inside of. Well, no. When you're installing the door, the lock to the door, there's a piece that keeps, I guess, someone from jimmying the lock from the outside cylinder.
It's a shutter guard, I believe you're referring to, where the tailpiece. I don't recall if that Kaba Ilco has a shutter guard, but I believe that it does. Plus, also, ma'am, no one's going to break into the lock. I mean, not that no one would,
right.
But in order to tamper with the lock that way, no one's going to take time to drill that cylinder out so that they can get all of that out. And then the shutter guard is spring-loaded, if there is one. Then you got to, my size 12 shoe is going to make quicker work than pulling that cylinder off. It's,
Right. It was, actually, I was hoping that it didn't because I'm trying to duplicate. He actually has the old lock that is here, and I'm looking at it. So I was really trying to duplicate because that one did not have it. It doesn't have it at all. And when I looked on the video, it doesn't appear, and you flipped it every which way but loose. I did not see it on that one. I did see it on the one-cylinder one where you were demonstrating what that actual shutter guard piece was actually for.
Yeah, probably on a Siegel brand lock, the much higher quality version of that lock. Those will definitely have shutter guards.
Okay. So if I were to order this, how long does it take?
They're very low lead time. They're, 1 to 2 days to ship.
1 to 2 days to ship. And I'm not in front of my paper. How much was it?
Don't have it pulled up, but let's pull it up. 530-53-41?
No, that's 51.
530-53-51. $17 currently, anyway.
Okay. Shipping free?
Of course not. I can't get the mailman to work for free. I asked him. He says, my boss said no. Again. No. So what is free though when you order this is the decades of experience that I've just assisted with. You're going to get the follow-up after the fact, and that's where the shipping charge kind of gets justified. The fact that I don't know. It depends on where it's going, but my guess $10 to $15. It'd be something in that range. Wouldn't be less, wouldn't be more.
It's coming to Maryland.
It's going to be something like that. Residential is a little bit more than a commercial address. But you'll find that out when you add to cart and complete the checkout. You'll see what the shipping charge is. You'll see that before you put your payment information.
Okay, and it's okay. And are you secure? Is this Howard? Your last name Howard?
I'm the guy in the video.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. because that's my last name, too. That's why I'm able to remember that.
We are cousins.
But I've watched you. This is like the second time. And when trying to find the correct lock again, I saw your video, and I said, perhaps I just need to give you a call. I'm not trusting of a whole lot of people.
Life is treacherous, but I've told you what I can tell you about the lock, and the other option is obviously, and it's always a great option. I always feel someone that may be in a similar position to you, you need to just call a locksmith. These people are experts. They're going to come to the job site. They're going to understand what has to happen. The upside is when you pay him, you're completely satisfied. The downside is when you pay him, you might as well just cut off one of your fingers as well because it's costly.
Right.
And so, but the peril that you run is ordering the wrong lock. That's the problem. Having an unsecure door, having something you can't return, paying to return it, restocking fees, not returnable. So, there are certain things I do myself because I know that I can. There are other things that I'm smart enough to know not to do, like my taxes, fix my car. I don't know about these things, so I don't attempt it, and I don't have the time to learn it either.
Wow. Okay. And I understand what you're saying. Yeah. This is, Okay.
Anyway, you know my name and know where to find me. If I can help with something, please let me know.
I'll do that. And I thank you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Howard. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.